Good day, educators. It is truly a pleasure to welcome each of you to this Nelson handwriting training. As teachers, we understand that handwriting is more than just putting pen to paper. It is a fundamental skill that impacts literacy, confidence, and communication. Today, we come together to refine our approach to teaching and writing in a way that is structured, engaging, and effective for our students. Nelson Handwriting provides a systematic approach to help children develop legible and fluent handwriting, setting them up for success in all areas of learning. Throughout this session, we will explore best practices, strategies, and techniques to support every learner, ensuring that no child is left behind. I encourage you all to actively participate, ask questions, and share your experiences because collaboration is at the heart of great teaching. By the end of today's training, I hope you feel confident and inspired to implement these techniques in your classrooms. Thank you for your dedication to education, and let's make this a productive and enriching session. In today's training, we will learn about the concepts of handwriting, the strategies for teaching handwriting effectively, some common handwriting challenges and solutions, how to tell the difference between good and poor handwriting. We will explore how to teach Nelson handwriting effectively. I encourage you to take notes, ask questions, and think about how you can apply these techniques in your own teaching. What is handwriting? As we all know that handwriting is a writing done by hand with a pencil, a pen, or another instrument. Handwriting goes beyond just writing. It is very important because it plays a crucial role in cognitive, educational, and personal development. In handwriting, children learn about the alphabet by interacting with each letter in different ways, so it is important. Yes, here we're going to be exploring some handwriting teaching strategies to help students achieve success. We all know that teaching handwriting can be challenging, or it's very challenging, but also very rewarding. It's also very rewarding when we are able to guide our learners on how to write using the proper techniques and formation. It is very rewarding. So in the next slide, I'm going to be sharing some few strategies on how to teach handwriting effectively in the classroom. One of the first strategies in implementing good handwriting is to get the writing posture correctly. Writing posture in school may be more important than we realize. If we look around the classroom, oftentimes we will see students slumped over in their seats, wiggling or slouching. It is challenging to maintain good posture, especially when talking about proper handwriting, but it's very important to teach our children how to maintain proper writing posture to prevent long-term bad habits. In this image, this is showing us the proper sitting position while writing. A quick look. The feet should have a stable base of support. The feet should not be suspended, so the feet should rest on the floor. Then when we look at the hips, the knees, and the ankles, they are bent at 90 degrees. The knees, the hips, and ankles should be bent at 90 degrees. And another important thing to take note in this picture is that the desk is higher than the bent elbows. This is very important. The desk should be higher than the bent elbows in order to prevent the children bending over the table when they are writing. So the height of the table or desk should support their bent elbows, and the paper should be at an angle. The paper should be at an angle so that the right side of the paper is slightly higher for right-handed students. And we encourage students to stabilize the paper with their non-dominant hand. So if a person writes with their right hand, they are expected to stabilize their paper using their left hand. And if a learner writes with his left hand, he is expected to stabilize his paper using the right hand. So the sitting position is the first strategy towards implementing a good handwriting. One of the very important strategies is the pencil grip. We need to encourage our learners, we need to show them the proper way of holding their pencil when writing. About 70% of children do not hold their pencil correctly. If you go around the schools, the classes, you will see that the children are not holding their pencils correctly. So what is the pencil grip? The pencil grip is defined as the way an individual holds the pencil. Okay, it is the way an individual holds the pencil. And because we're talking about legible and good handwriting here, it's also a thing to be emphasized on. A good pencil grip allows the child to keep their wrist steady. That's one of the importance of a good pencil grip. It allows the child to keep their wrist steady so that they can make small movements of their fingers for moving their tips, the pencil tips, in different directions. A pencil grip is important for creating short, straight, and curved lines. It's very important. It is one of the important skills that needs to be developed for neat and fast handwriting. Now, what is the expected way to hold a pencil? We talk about the tripod grip. Tripod grip. Tripod means three. So we talk about using the thumb, the index finger, and the middle finger. So the pencil should be within these three fingers. So how do we go about this? The thumb supports the pencil, okay, while the index finger is slightly at the top of the pencil, okay. So the pencil rests between the thumb and the forefinger. Then the middle finger is underneath to support the pencil. The middle finger is underneath to support the pencil. So here are some images of per pencil grip. You can see them. So if you have your learners holding their pencils like this, please, let's go back and do the needful. Is going to slow them down. They're not going to write fast, and it's also going to put a strain on their muscles too. So please, let's ensure that they use the tripod. One of the strategies to employ when teaching handwriting is to introduce letters in similar groups. In handwriting, the letters are grouped differently based on their shape, based on their size, based on the formation patterns. So when children are introduced to similarly grouped letters, it helps them to understand the letter shapes, the letter slant, the curves, the position of the letters. And so I'm going to be showing us the 4 groups in which to introduce letters to children. For the curves, we have clockwise curves group, those letters that are formed using clockwise curves. We have the letters that are formed using anti-clockwise curves. we have the slant letters, we have the coily tail letters, we have the letters in the different groups. So let's take a look at how to introduce letters to children using similar groups. So here we have A, C, D, G, Q, E, O, F, and S. These share a counterclockwise writing motion, or what we call anti-clockwise writing motion. And you can also split this into two groups to simplify the introduction. We have the second groups, which is the B, H, M, N, P, and R. These letters share a clockwise motion or a clockwise formation pattern. The third group are letters that have a vertical line as a central feature. In these letters, we have I, J, K, L, and T. And these letters are sometimes called the giraffe letters, the ascenders, or the sky letters. The fourth group is called the catch-all category because this category combines the different curves, slants, strokes together. So we call it the catch-all category, and we have the U, V, W, X, Y, and Z in this category. For example, U is a stroke, an undercurve, stroke down, and flip. One of the strategies to make handwriting easy for you as a teacher and for your learners is to ensure that you use tracing worksheets. Tracing worksheets makes handwriting fun for the children because as they trace the letters, they understand that these letters have a particular shape, it has a formation pattern. They also understand the size of the letter and how the letters should sit on the line. So tracing activities is very important in reinforcing good handwriting. So once you're done introducing the letters, allow the children to trace the letters using tracing worksheet. It will help simplify your work as a teacher, and it will also help your learners to learn better. I'm going to be showing us some examples of tracing worksheets we can explore as we teach handwriting to our learners. Here are a few examples of tracing worksheets to make handwriting a seamless effort for us as teachers and for our learners. So here are some of the tracing worksheets we can introduce to our learners. It guides them on how to write properly, paying attention to the lines and how the letters sit on the lines. So we have the tracing worksheet in different forms, different types of worksheet depending on what you want. Finger spacing is so important in handwriting because it ensures that our learners do not lump their written text together, and it improves the readability of a written text. What is finger spacing in handwriting? Finger spacing refers to using a finger as a visual guide to ensure consistent and adequate spacing between words. And when we do this, it makes writing more legible for our learners. Finger spacing ensures that learners understand the appropriate amount of space to leave between each word as they write. Now, how does this work? This works by using the non-dominant finger. As they write, they have the dominant and they have the non-dominant hand. So the hand used in writing is the dominant hand. The other hand is the non-dominant hand. So if a child is a right-handed child, the child writes with the right hand, so the left hand is the non-dominant hand. So what they do is to place the index finger of their non-dominant hand after each word. Okay, so this will create a cue for the necessary space. The index finger is placed after each word as the right, and this gives them a visual cue on where to begin the next word. So finger spacing ensures that the learners do not lump up the words together, and they are also able to read what they have written. So this is an image showing finger spacing. Practice the same makes perfect. Consistency is key when it comes to teaching and writing. So ensure that children have at least 15 to 20 minutes daily lessons on handwriting. Let them practice handwriting every day. As they write, they get better and they improve their handwriting skills. And a lot of ways to ensure that the daily practice is fun for the children. Encourage hands-on play to improve motor skills. Let them write on different surfaces like tracing on powder, tracing in air, writing in hair. Let them write on the whiteboard. Give them varieties of writing materials like markers. Common handwriting challenges and solutions. We all are aware as educators that children encounter few challenges as they embark on their handwriting journey. And one of the things we are here to do is to ensure that every child gets handwriting correctly. And so I'm going to be talking about the commonly encountered challenges, and some of the solutions to these challenges are the strategies we have discussed earlier on when teaching and writing. If we follow these strategies, we will see that children are able to write neatly, fluently, and legibly. So here are some common challenges children encounter. I'll be discussing these challenges using some picture slides to broaden our understanding about it. So one of the major challenges is poor pencil grip. And if you look at this picture, the learners are all holding the pencil in the wrong way. So, and when they hold their pencil like this, it's going to put a muscle strain on them. They won't be able to write fast, and also they won't be able to write for a long period of time. They get tired. So this is another challenge, and this is called letter reversals. Look at this. This child wants to write I like to play ball. So look at the K reversal. The P is written like Q, and the B in ball is written like D. And look at the drop. Is supposed to write D, drop, and look at, instead of his D is writing B. So this is our letter reversals. And what are the solutions to this? Provide them with letter reversals worksheet. In this letter reversals worksheet, they will learn how to differentiate and how to write each of the letters properly. For instance, B is the bat before the ball, okay, the bat before the ball, and D is the doorknob before the door. So when they use this letter reversals worksheet, it will help them to understand the difference in the letters. And we also have the challenge of inconsistent letter size. Look at this letter size, it's inconsistent and there's no clarity in this handwriting. So for inconsistent letter size, provide them with tracing worksheets to help them understand the size of the letters, their placement on the line, the alignment of the letters. So when you do this, it will help the learners correct their inconsistency with the letter size. This is a letter size worksheet. Let's do a little quiz here. Can you tell the difference between a poor and a good handwriting? Let's check this handwriting out. How would you rate this handwriting? Would you say this is a good or a poor handwriting? Well, going by the Nelson standard, this is a poor handwriting because the letter sizes are inconsistent and the formation pattern is not accurate. Also, you will notice that there are no joins in this writing. So Nelson handwriting uses joins, and here we do not have anything of such. So we call this a poor handwriting going by the Nelson standard. Now let's take a look at this handwriting. How would you rate it? By any standard, this is a good handwriting. It is clear, the spacing is even, there's consistency in the letter size, and so this is what we're about to dive into, the Nelson Penmanship, where you write clearly and legibly as a teacher, and this will also go a long way to influence the way your learners will write, because you are actually modeling a lot of things to them. You can see this handwriting is beautiful. It's easy to read at a glance. You don't need to strain your eyes to see what has been written. So get ready for the Nelson Penmanship. Get your pen, get your exercise book, because this is practical and all we're doing is to write and get it right. Okay, let's get started. Let's dive into the lowercase letter formation. Here we start with A. Anti-clockwise curve to the top of the curve, down with a flick. A. Did we see that? That's a formation pattern for here. B is a stroke down to the middle and a clockwise curve. B. Stroke down to the middle and a clockwise curve. C is anti-clockwise curve. C. Anti-clockwise curve. D is anti-clockwise curve to the top, down on the same line with a flick. D. E is slant and anti-clockwise curve. E. F. Anti-clockwise curve, stroke down and a curl to the back and a wave line at the top. That is F. G is anti-clockwise curve to the top of the curve, down with a curl at the back. G. H. Stroke down to the middle, a clockwise curve down and a flick. H. I. Stroke down and flick with a dot on the top. I. J. Stroke down and a curl under with a dot on the top. J. K is stroke down to the middle, a clockwise curve, slant, and flick. That is K. L. Stroke down and flick. M. Stroke down to the top, a clockwise curve down to the top, a clockwise curve down, and flick. M. N. Stroke down to the top, a clockwise curve down and flick. O, anti-clockwise curve round the clock. O, and a flavy line at the top. P is a stroke to the middle and a clockwise curve. P. Q. Q is anti-clockwise curve to the top of the curve, stroke down and a flick. Q. R is a stroke to the top and a wave line at the top, that is R. S is anti-clockwise curve and a clockwise curve. Anti-clockwise curve and a clockwise curve. T is a stroke down with a flick and dash at the top, that is T. U is a stroke down, a curve under, stroke down, and a flick, that is U. V is slide down, slide up, and a wave line at the top. W is slide down, slide up, slide down, slide up, and a wave line at the top. W. X is slant to the right, slant to the left. X. Y is a stroke and a curve, stroke down and a curve in, that is Y. Z is zig, zag, zebra. That's the formation for the lowercase letters. In summary, this is what the lowercase letters look like in the Nelson handwriting style. Let's look at the three categories of letters based on the letter size. These are dwarf letters. Dwarf letters are also called the tortoise letter, the grass letter, or the small letters. As you can see in this picture, they are letters that sit within the main body of the writing line and do not extend above or below it. You can see these letters: A, C, E, I, M, N, O, R, S, U, V, W, X, and Z. They sit on the line. They do not extend above or below the writing line. So they are called dwarf letters, tortoise letters, or grass letters. The second category of letter is the giraffe letters. They are also called the tall letters, the sky letters, the ascender. These letters stretch upwards, helping children distinguish them from the dwarf letters. Okay, you can see them. They stretch upwards to the top of the line. Look at them. We have B, we have D, we have F, we have H, we have K, we have L, and we have T. These are the giraffe letters. They are tall letters. They are called sky letters or ascenders because they start from the top of the line and they sit at the bottom of the line. As you can see, they are tall letters. And this is the monkey tail letters. They are also called the root letters, the curly letters, or the descendants. Okay, so these letters extend below the baseline, that is the main writing line. They go below the main writing line. Okay, as you can see, the monkey tail letters are F, and luckily F is a monkey tail letter and it's also a giraffe letter. So F fall into two categories. G is a monkey tail letter, J is a monkey tail letter, P is a monkey tail letter, Q is a monkey tail letter, and Y is a monkey tail letter. And these are the break letters. The break letters are letters that do not connect to other letters. They do not join to other letters, but other letters can join to them. And the importance of break letters is to teach children to pause briefly after writing. Is to teach children to pause breathing after writing. So the break letters are B, G, J, P, Q, S, X, Y, and Z. These letters do not connect to other letters. They are called break letters. All right, let's look at something interesting. This is what guarantees your penmanship in Nelson handwriting, the joints. If you understand the joints, then you're good to go. You're excellent. So we've talked about the break letters. We said the break letters are letters that do not join to other letters. However, other letters may join to them. Now we are looking at the letters that join to other letters. So we have 4 types of joins. Now we are going to look at the first join. The first join starts with a diagonal stroke and connects to other letters except the giraffe letters, except the ascenders, the tall letters, okay? So they start with a diagonal stroke and connect to all the letters except the tall letters. Usually this type of join starts from the bottom. They connect from the bottom to the other letters. Now you can see the way I am writing. This is what Nelson handwriting can offer you. You can see the combination of the tall letters, the monkey tail letters, and the dwarf letters. So when you understand the break letters, look at my B there. B is a break letter, so you can see that I am not joining it to any other letter. So break letters do not join to other letters. Look at my T to O. Can you see the joins? So the join is diagonally from the bottom to dwarf letters and to the monkey tail letters. But this first join do not connect to the giraffe letters. That's the only exception in these joins. So your letters like A, I, your U are the letters that connect from the bottom to other letters. You can see A can connect to N, A can connect to M diagonally from the bottom. You can see it's connecting from the bottom, it's joining from the bottom. Look at this, A to E. Can't you see it's so beautiful? Yeah. Okay, we have I to N. Okay, that's a diagonal join. I to E. All right. We also have I to S. This is beautiful. We have I to O. So that is the first. So we have the second join. The second join is also a diagonal join, but this time to our exception in the first join. You know, in the first join we said that they do not join to the giraffe letters, the tall letters. So now the second join is the diagonal join to the tall letters, to the giraffe letters, okay? And they also connect from the bottom. The second join also connects from the bottom diagonally to the giraffe letters. So the difference between the first join and the second join is that the first join connects to the monkey tail letters and the dwarf letters diagonally, okay? From the bottom it connects diagonally, while the second join connects diagonally also, but only to the giraffe letters or the tall letters. Okay, so take a look at my writing. You can see the way I am joining, and when I get to my break letters I do not join. All right, so that is what Nelson handwriting can do. It gives clarity to your handwriting. writing. So this joins diagonally with the tall letters, the giraffe letters. We call them different names: tall giraffes, sky letters, ascenders, all that we can use to tell that they're just tall and all of that. So we have the connection. Now let's see them. We have C connecting to H, that's the second join. You can see A connecting to T, okay, all of the giraffe letters. I connecting to F, that's a diagonal join from the bottom to the other letters. A connect to H, okay. E connect to T, right? We also have A connecting to L. We have U connecting to H. Okay, so all of this connects from the bottom diagonally to the tall letters. Look at I connecting to T. Okay, that's the second join. I connect to B. So all of this connection are showing the second joins connecting diagonally to the tall letters. Next is a third type of join. Can anyone guess what this type of join will look like? We've talked about the first join. Do you remember what the first join is all about? It's all about the diagonal connection to the letters, with the exception of the giraffe letters, the tall letters. We said also that the second join is also a diagonal connection, but now to the giraffe letters only. So what will the third join looks like? Can anyone guess? Okay, let's go back to our notes. This is the third join. I hope you're paying attention to the way I am joining my letters and also giving my writing a break with the help of my break letters. You can see Z there. Z is a break letter. So I'm not going to join it to any letter, and it won't even join to another letter. So the third join connects horizontally to other letters except the giraffe letters. It connects horizontally. So these are the joins that connect from the top, unlike the first and the second join. The third join connects from the top. It is an horizontal connection. Okay, let's look at it. The note says it joins horizontally from the top to other letters except the giraffe letters. All right, I'm taking my time to put this writing together because it's a handwriting class and we have to demonstrate everything we're saying. We have to put it into practice. All right, can we see this? Okay, the combination, the tall letters, the giraffe, and the monkey tail. So the third join horizontally from the top to letters without ascenders, without the giraffe letters, the tall letters. Let's look at examples of these letters that join horizontally. We have our O. Can you see? It joins from the top horizontally. O joins to A. Look at W. W is another letter that joins horizontally. Look at from the top. This is W joining to E. This is V joining to E horizontally. Okay. This is W joining to O horizontally. So all these letters are letters with the exemption of the as. The only exception here is the ascenders. They join to other letters horizontally from the top. So we have F joining to A horizontally. We have W joining to E horizontally. We have V joining to A horizontally. We also have O joining to G horizontally. You can see It's only the ascenders, the giraffe letters, that are an exception to the third join. Are we getting it? Is it making sense? Okay. We have V joining to I. These are the third join from the top. F joining to I. I'm giving us as much as examples, as many examples I can afford to give us. This W joining to A, and so on and so forth. So here is the fourth join, which is also the last join in this category. Don't forget what your first join looks like. Don't forget what the second join also looks like. Try to recall. And the third join letters, the join horizontally to the giraffe letters. That's the third join. Now the fourth join is also horizontally to the tall letter, so it's very simple to understand. So we've seen vertical join, diagonal join to other letters, diagonal join to giraffe letters, horizontal join to short letters, and now horizontal join to tall letters. So pay attention to the writing. Look at the joins, observe the break letters. All right, so these joins from the top. Okay, yes, it joins from the top horizontally. Okay, it joins from the top horizontally. Have you seen my Z there? It's a break letter. So look at the way we're using the break letters to put a pause in our writing. So this joins from the top horizontally with, okay, with the, you can see I do not lift my pen off my book until I am done with a word. So lesson and writing allows for speed and fluency in writing. So this joins with the ascending letters horizontally. That's from the top to the ascending letters, the sky letters, the giraffe letters, the tall letters. Call them any beautiful name you want to call them. So let's take a look at how the fourth join connects. So we have W to H. That's the fourth join. You can see it's looking beautiful. We have W to T. This is beautiful. We also have W to B. Yes, this is a tall letter. B is a tall letter. We have W to F. Okay, F is also an ascender, a tall letter, and a giraffe letter. A tall letter and a monkey tail letter. This is O to B horizontally. Okay, from the top. That connection is from the top. And this is V to T horizontally from the top. This is horizontally to V to B. I'm loving it. This is beautiful. This is W to F horizontally. And this is R to T horizontal join. Okay, this is joining to all of our giraffe and tall letters. This is R to H. So lovely. So please ensure we practice all of these joins. Wow, we have come to the end of the Nelson penmanship training. However, our knowledge will be tested and evaluated. We have 4 tasks to complete in this training, and so this is the last task for us. After this task, I'm going to send in the first, the second, and the third task. You're going to practice joining activities. You're going to apply all that you have learned about the first join and how they connect, the second join and how they connect, the third join and how they connect, the fourth join and how they connect to each other, and also your break letters to put up a beautiful piece of writing. So practice joining activities. You're going to copy this piece of writing, and please ensure that you write it using your Nelson handwriting. So I'm going to demonstrate this to us. I'm writing it out because it's a practical training on handwriting, and so you need to see me do it. All right, so this is titled The Crocodile. Okay, look at the formation and the joints. Pay attention to the break letters. Pay attention to the different categories of the letters. Okay. Dear educators, we have to complete this task and submit. Task 1 is on letter formation. Write A to Z using the Nelson style. Task 2 is to write the lowercase letters according to their categories. Task 3 is to show the 4 types of joins. At least give 5 examples of each joins. Task 4 is to show how the break letters combine with other letters with at least 10 examples. You can see bag, age, look at the break letters B and just see how they combine with other letters. And the 5th task is to write out a long sentence on crocodile. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, to share, and to subscribe to this channel where I am intentional about bringing you educational content. See you.